Spiritforged is just about a month away now, and you're probably wondering what to do with all of your old decks. Well, today I put together a list of all the current legends in the game, looked at some of the results in China, and kind of mishmashed the decks together to see what people are doing and how we can build our decks going forward. So today we're going to be updating every one of the existing legends decks, and then playing a game with each of them on TCG Arena. That said, there are quite a lot of decks to get through, so let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Before we do though, of course, if you do enjoy this content and you want to see more of it, remember to leave a like and subscribe. You can also check out the Discord and the link in the description and support me over on Patreon like all the people on screen now. With that though, let's start with the height of what we have going forward with Garen. So I think going forward, Garen is obviously the least solved deck as his legend is just dog shit, but we can kind of supplement that by playing some busted cards in other places. For example, we're going to build around Dazzling Aurora, and yellow and orange got some really interesting tools to help this strategy quite a bit actually. Firstly, they have a ton of recruit making cards through spells and gear, which means that we don't have to dilute our deck by playing smaller units. Orange also has a lot of our bigger ramp cards, which is pretty fantastic, and there's a ton of removal in yellow at pretty okay speeds, typically action, that allow you to fight for the board before you have a creature out there. So as for the deck itself, we are going to be running a couple seals to help pay for a lot of that removal. Most of yellow's removal does require a yellow power, but we need to get to Dazzling Aurora mana costs, so these seals hopefully help us mitigate the costs a little bit. We're actually going to look at the deck from the other end going from here though, just because of how Dazzling Aurora works. And our units for this list is going to be 2 copies of Volibear and 3 copies of Harness Dragon. That is it. That is all we're running. There's no new unit additions from the Spiritforged set. Volibear offers some good card draw and just is a massive beefy unit to get through, and then Harness Dragon kills a unit every time he enters, which is pretty useful. To fight for the board outside of our units, we have Vanguard Armory here, which is a 7 cost gear that can be exhausted to play 3 recruit tokens. 3 is pretty decent. Yes, 7 is quite a lot to pay up front, but when you're getting 3 units every turn after that, that's pretty good, and if you have 2 of these out, it snowballs very quickly. And we can combo that with our first removal spell, Imperial Decree, which says whenever a unit takes damage this turn, you can kill it. Again, this is action speed, so once we have those recruits being generated, we can just run them into one of our opponent's cards, kill it that way, and we're trading our small dudes for their big ones, hopefully. As for our actual removal, we have Drag Under, which is a new card from Spiritforged. 5 energy and a power to kill a unit at a battlefield. It does have a cost reducing effect, but that's not going to come up in this deck. We also have 2 copies of Vengeance, 1 energy cheaper, but 1 more power. Again, you're starting to see where the seal is coming into play here. We have a lot of yellow cost. Keeping with the removal, we have 3 copies of Cull the Weak. Each player sacrifices one of their units. And then Hidden Blade, kill a unit at the battlefield, its owner draws 2 cards. So just for spot removal, we can kill 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then however many we can trade into this, and then 3 more from Harness Dragon. So reliably 10 unit kills in the deck just from the cards we're playing, and then potentially more from Imperial Decree and trading into things, which is pretty great. A lot of decks, especially in Spiritforged, are kind of running around that 15 unit mark, so we can kill almost everything with what we have available here. We also have our ramping cards with 3 copies of Mobilize, 3 copies of Catalyst of Aeons, a little bit of extra rune production there. We have 3 copies of Guards, which is a bit of a new spell and kind of an interesting one. This is a potentially hidden card, though we likely won't cast it as such, and it allows you to play a 2 Might Sand Soldier unit token, and you can also pay a yellow to ready that as well. So this allows us to have early board presence without actually running any of the cheaper units. That's kind of nice. And we have a similar idea with Forge of the Futures, which says when you play this, make a 1 Might recruit token in your base. You can also kill this to recycle 4 cards from any trash. So this is the interesting part of the deck here. Between Forge of the Future and Guards and Vanguard Armory, we're making a decent amount of little dudes, but on top of that, this recycle cost allows us to play less top end because we can just put those back in the deck. If you've gone through all of your Harness Dragon, you can just put them back, and then you're suddenly able to get more of them from Dazzling Aurora going forward. And that's kind of cool, because a big weakness that Dazzling Aurora has is that once it runs out of units, it's just done. So this can mitigate that and give you a much longer end game than other Dazzling Aurora decks can do. But with all that being said, let's get into the Garen game. All right, looks like our first game is going to be against an Aurelia here, which is starting a little bit hard. But we'll go with a Trifarian War Camp. And they're doing a Paper Tree When you hold here, each player channels one rune exhausted. Kind of helps us, actually. I don't actually mind these. I'm going to put one of them back. They're going to start here. The Harness Dragon's a bit of a rough draw, but that's fine. So he's starting with his Zhonya's. Not too bad for us. We do get our Aurora right away. We're going to forward to the future and make our recruit. And we can pass to him. Okay, so we got a bit of a faster start than he does, which is pretty good. That's a little bit annoying. We're going to... So either way, we got 2 turns here. We're going to play Confront. Fuck, another Volibear. Okay. If we go here, that allows us to play Garen next turn, but I think we're going to use the other one anyways. Okay, so we're going to score our first point. I don't think we have much else to do, so we're just going to pass. Maybe I should have gone for Paper Tree, and then I could have played the Armory next turn, but I would like to kill the Aurelia right away if possible. I guess Zhonya's is there as well. Yep. Man, Aurelia is such a good card. Super dead. For those who don't know, the Aurelia card says when you choose a friendly unit, you can exhaust this and pay a power to ready it. Let's actually... I think he's going to go there anyways. I mean, this does push back the Dazzling Aurora a turn, but that's fine. So we're going to make 3. He goes up to 2 points here. Yep. I have to let him get 2 more points, but that's fine. I really like this Heart of True Ice. Tap it to give a unit 3 might for the turn. Works really well with Aurelia. A lot of, actually, Legends work really well with it. Okay, that's pretty good. So if I play this, we're still down 1. Yeah. So I don't mind that. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry. We'll play a second Armory. I'm going to tap this to make 3 more units. Doesn't say in base, which is really nice. Put all of those over here. And we can pass back to her. They are all 2s because of the War Camp. That should actually be pretty hard for her. Oh, they are super nice. Sorry, I forget shit while I'm over-explaining things. We're just going to throw them all over there. They were super nice about that. So what do we got? 9 over there. So 18 stack. That's crazy, actually. I should have just played the Arena's Greatest. And we do get to channel a rune because of the battlefield there. So I go up to 10. If I had 1 more, I could do some silly stuff. Okay. I'm just going to cleave through a bunch of them. Kill 4. Give unit +2, another unit -2. Yep. It's nice that it doesn't have a minimum of 1. Discipline. Jesus. So 13 to my 16. Okay, I think we're just trading here. +14. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I missed something. That's a really bad draw. All right. So we are going to shuffle back 2 for Dazzling Aurora. And then we will... six of those. And we're just going to pass there. This is super annoying on here. Yep. Alright, so you can still get the 2 points here, just because they have ganking and restanding and all that shit. That's okay. We have another of them in hand. They're going to stack deck. Add something to hand. Another stack deck. The classic combo. Still goes to 7 here. I should be able to kill both, though. He can have Defy. Defy's a little bit annoying, but we can do both of these. Goes to 6. He goes to 7. We'll be recycling. There's another Zonia's. Second Dazzling is interesting, but we don't have any more units in the deck, I don't think. We have one more Volibear, so it's not worth it right now. So we're going to... one of these and a gear. Oh. Hit the wrong one. Oh. Fight or flight. Okay. That's pretty huge. So we're going to... kill that other one. Sure. Very fair. All right. How do I want to... we'll move all 6 there. And then... okay, and he needs to move that card. Aurora. There's a Volibear. I think putting this over here might be fine. So I think we've stabilized here for the most part. Volibear blocks for 13, plus the 6 from this is 19, 22. If he moves the other one, I get to draw a card. I would almost like to kill the Harness Dragon. This way I can get another proc of it on my turn. If not, we can drop the other Harness Dragon, kill whatever he plays. It's not terrible. I'm glad that was a Fight or Flight and not a Zonia's. But what are we casting here? Sure. So we're looking at a 3 right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is his max. Gotta fix it. There we go. Wanna swap out. So with the boots, they're up to 8. 8 lets him clear through 4 of those. With the other one, it'd be 10 if he has. Oh, okay. 9, 10. It's a lot of investment for him not to be sure what to do here. All right, he's giving in there. Cool. So the Garen actually won pretty decidedly, actually. That felt pretty solid. Obviously, any yellow or orange, or yellow and orange leader would be better, but we take it. We're not going to complain about a free win on Garen. So our next champion that we're taking a look at is Leona. Leona also didn't get a lot of great tools in Spiritforged. She got a couple, but nothing to write home about. We are looking at the Paper Tree and the Veiled Temple in the battlefield zones here. So again, Paper Tree helps us generate a little bit more energy, or runes at least. Whereas the Veiled Temple says when you conquer here, you may ready a friendly gear. If it's an equipment, you can detach it. So we're going to scroll down here and look at our gear. We have the BF sword, we have the Heart of Ice, which is pretty nice as well. And then we also have the baited hook. So all three of these can be triggered through the Veiled Temple. That's pretty okay, I think. Also the Seals of Unity and the Altar of Memory as well. So all of these really function well with that battlefield, and I think we get a lot of value out of it. So looking at the deck here, and we have two seals. We're running the green Leona rather than the yellow one. We're not as worried about actually proccing the stun here. I don't know, I just testing this out. It seems like from what I've seen in deck lists from China, a lot of them are dropping the yellow Leona, which is interesting because I think that card's nuts, but we're going to test it. We have 2 Defy, 2 of the new counterspell, Not So Fast, which is 2 energy and a power at reaction speed, counter an enemy spell or ability that chooses a friendly unit or gear. So whereas Defy is cheaper, it does have that limit of 4 energy and no more than 1 power, but this can be anything so long as it targets your units. So it's a bit more restrictive on when you can use it, but it is more powerful on the times that you can actually proc it. Death Grip is a new spell at reaction speed for 2 energy, kill a friendly unit, give its might to another unit, and then draw 1. That can be used for death knell effects that we'll talk about in a moment, or just to give a big buff to another battlefield, so it's pretty great in that way. Altar of Memories, when a friendly unit dies, you can exhaust this to draw 1 and then put a card from your hand on top or bottom of the deck. So we're going to fix the cards in our deck a little bit, which is great. We can cycle away useless cards or put cards that we want to hit with Baited Hook on top of our deck, so that's pretty excellent as well. Apprentice Smith, 2 energy for a 2 might unit that says when I move, reveal the top card of my main deck, and if it's a gear, draw it, otherwise recycle it. As I mentioned, we have quite a lot of gear. The 2 seals, the altar, the 3 baited hooks, the 2 hearts of ice, and the 2 BF swords, so we have a lot of targets for that to proc. Unsung Hero, one of my favorite cards in the new set, 2 energy, 2 might, and Death Knell. If she is mighty, you can draw 2 cards. So that can happen pretty easily in this deck. Obviously, anytime we stun, we can put a buff on the field, so that gets her to 3 at least. And then if we have the Heart of Ice, we can trigger this pretty much whenever we want. Same with BF Sword, they just get her to 5 very easily in this deck. Of course, the Heart can only work on your own turn, but even so, pretty reasonable. We have a couple stunning cards in the mid-range point. Rune Prison is 2 energy and a power. We've already had this in the set. It's been pretty good with Leona. Stuns a unit at action speed. The Thwonk is a new spell. It is 2 energy and has repeat, so you can cast it again if you want. And normally it allows you to stun 1 attacking unit, but again, you can repeat that to stun a second one if needed. The only problem is that it only stuns attacking units, which means it's useless on your turn. Kind of the reverse of the Heart of Dark Ice. Lonely Poro, another new addition. This is 2 energy, 2 might, Death Knell. If it dies while alone, you can draw 1 card. Again, pretty easy to do. We have Honest Broker. This is another Death Knell effect. Play a gold token exhausted when she dies. So we have a lot of low to the ground Death Knell units that generate a lot of value for us. Kind of makes me want to throw a Karthus in this deck. I do love that card, but whatever. We're running 2 of Leona's signature spells, 3 Baited Hook, 2 copies of Heart of Dark Ice. Again, 3 energy and a power. You can exhaust this once a turn to give a unit plus 3 might. And again, if we can proc that with Veiled Temple, we can do it again if needed. That's very cool, and it's nice because this actually feeds into being able to proc it. You buff one of your units, send them in to conquer a battlefield, and then buff another unit to send it in and conquer the other battlefield. Really cool synergy, just intrinsic with this card. Then we have 2 copies of BF Sword for 4 energy and 1 power to equip. It gives a unit plus 3 might, which again procs the Unsung Hero and just is a good buffing amount to help you deal with most cards in the game. As we get into our top end, we have 2 copies of Ornn, which is 5 energy, a power, and 5 might. When you play him or when he holds, you can look at the top 4 cards of your main deck, reveal a gear, and draw it. Then you recycle the rest. So just a good card for generating and finding our gear. I think we've all played the baited hook deck, and if you don't find baited hook, it kind of feels kind of bad. So this lets you get there faster. Then we have 3 copies of Tasty Fey Folk. When they die, you can channel 2 runes Exhausted and draw 1. It also has Accelerate, which is nice, and 3 copies of Harness Dragon again. So this is just a good value generating deck. It might be a little bit slow compared to what we have in the meta right now, but let's go test it out on TCG Arena. All right, we have another Aurelia. I feel like that's going to be a theme here. But we're going to try out the Veiled Temple. They're on Reaver's Row. That's kind of annoying into us, but that's fine. I rolled better, so we're going to start. This seems pretty okay. We'll shuffle this. Draw 1 Zenith Blade, also okay. Let's go. We're going to draw for turn, and we'll put an Apprentice Smith in the back row here. Pass to him. Treasure Hunter. Really good card, and putting it on Reaver's Row is really good as well. Normally I wouldn't mind conquering this, but we're going to go for the Reaver's Row and hopefully proc her more often here. When she moves, reveal a top card of my main deck. If it's a gear, draw it. They use their stack deck. We're gonna get our point there. We're gonna drop a Lonely Poro in the back. And then I guess we're just gonna call it. So if he moves into Reaver's Row, I can just pull back. Although I kill them if they don't have a card to buff it, so. Nothing again. I do really like Reaver's Row with this thing. Maybe there's an argument for killing theirs, but it's fine. Alright, on to me. Left 5 up over there. That's a little bit disconcerting, but that's fine. We're going to move the Poro. Sure. Poro dies, I draw. Drop her over here. Baited hook, it's not bad. I'm not going to play the Ornn yet. Let's get baited hook out. Then I'm going to drop her. Just let that die. Oh, I got my point. Gets his hold point. Gets another thing. Don't have enough for Thwonk, which is a little bit annoying, but it's fine. No actions on that. Okay. Hold point. We will pull her back. A lot of utility items. Can I get some gear, please? Okay, Ornn looks at the top 5. Top 4, sorry. Okay. I'm going to grab that. I can't play it this turn, but that's okay. Move her. And I will pass her way. I really like Reaver's Row with this deck, actually. You get a lot of really cool value out of it. So I can do the Heart next turn, move her in for hopefully to kill a battlefield, and then baited hook it. I do need to get a seal, though. If I can get a seal, I can save a lot of value. It's just super expensive right now. I do have the Zenith Blade, but not terribly worried. I'm going to try and use it with this if I can. I'll just pull back. Another treasure hunter, that's fine. 1, 2, 3. Shuffle 1. That's fine there. Not mighty, which is nice. I'll defy that. I'll defy that. Bit of a defy chain. There we go. Alright, so we do get this. Fight or flight, move him back. That's fair. He probably could have just pulled the Aurelia back, but it's whatever. We'll move her. I want to proc this to see if I can find the top. That's pretty good. I wish I did it earlier. And pass to him. Not in a fantastic spot here. This really has deflect, right? Yeah. Did I cheat in the last game and not pay a deflect cost? Ooh. Ride the wind, sure. Okay. So she is at 5, 8, 7 now. Okay. Charm. Yep. Okay, he's out of cards. That's good. Payfolk, okay. I think I have to do this one if I'm going to do it. You know what? He's getting both anyways. We're going to do this. Going to be a little bit aggressive with next turn, but that's fine. He only has one card here. He can make some extra treasure, but I don't particularly care. I think worst case scenario is maybe like another charm, but that's not terrible. No, because charm I still win. Because Fae Folk got a booty. This will be helpful next turn. They left. But I had it though. Fae Folk takes one. Leona takes the other. And then I have the stun for their turn. Come on. Connect. Okay. Well, they've been spamming in and out of reconnecting for like 5 minutes now. We're going to call this one. But I think with what I have here, I do win. Because I can take a battlefield with this. Leona has charge, or haste, whatever. She can take the other one. That puts me up to 7. He has one. It depends on like what this one card is in the other top deck, but I don't think they can really do much. We'll call it a win. You know, Leona needs the buff the stats numbers. That's fine. In our third deck, another one that needs a little bit of love is Volibear, which seems to have moved away from Dazzling Aurora, which is kind of cool. So looking at our new battlefields here, we have Sunken Temple. When you conquer here with one or more mighty units, you can pay 1 energy to draw a card. Obviously, Volibear likes that quite a bit. Rockfell Path, units can't be played here. This is basically an anti-Annie card in most cases because of the sneaky deckhand, but it also stops opponents from piling up cards onto one battlefield, all at once anyways, which allows you to kind of slow the pace of the game just a little bit. Kind of nice. And then Forgotten Monument, players can't score here until the third turn. Again, we're slowing down the pace of the game. These kind of work as an alternative to Aspirant's Climb, but they give you a little bit more control, which is really nice. So looking at the deck, we have Volibear Furious as our chosen champion, and then we'll take a look at all the new cards. Punch first, 1 energy, 2 power, give a unit plus 5 might this turn. I thought this was going to be too expensive, but it is so goddamn strong. What a great card. Blood Rush, give a unit Assault 2, and it is repeatable for 1 energy. Again, just a ton of value. You pay 2 energy rather than the 1 energy and 2 power, and you're getting 4 worth of might while attacking. Pretty good. This is very comparable to Cleave, which was 1 energy plus 3, but again, you can split this up here, so you can give 2 assault to 1 unit, 2 assault to another. Pretty good. Against the Odds is a card at 2 energy this time at reaction speed. Give a friendly unit at a battlefield plus 2 might this turn for each enemy unit there. You can get pretty large depending on what you're playing against. You saw earlier when we were playing Garen, we had 9 units on one battlefield. So you play this while running into that and suddenly you're bigger than all of them. So kind of cool. Here to help is a hidden action card for 2 energy that says you can play a unit from your hand to a battlefield that you control, reducing its cost by 3. So you're getting a bit of an energy discount in exchange for paying the power. Again, you can play this for its hidden cost, so you're saving on all of the energy. That's kind of cool. The rest is just a bunch of cards from Origins for the most part. We have Confront, Falling Star, Shakedown. We're not as worried about running through your energy or your power because you have Volibear in the leader zone. A couple copies of Mobilize, Challenge, and then Herald of Scales because we're going to have a bit of a dragon sub-theme here. For those who don't know, this is your dragon's energy costs are reduced by 2 to a minimum of 1. And again, this does stack, so that's pretty nice. We have our Trinity Force here, which says when you hold, you can score an extra point if this is equipped to a unit there. Super good. That is just that 1 copy though. We have Dune Drake, again, one of our dragons. 5 energy for 5 might. When I attack, give me 2 might if there's a ready unit there. This is errata to only say until the end of the turn, but still pretty good. Thermo Beam to get rid of any gear on the field. A lot of gold on the field right now. There's Dazzling Aurora sometimes, so stuff like that. A lot of equipment as well. It's a good answer to all of it. Blazing Scorcher. This is a 5 energy, 5 might with Accelerate. We have Volibear's signature spell Stormbringer. And the only other new cards that we have here are Ferris Forerunner. 6 energy and a power for 6 might with Death Knell. Play 2 3 might mech unit tokens to your base. Just something that's kind of hard to deal with and sticky, which is great. And then Fey Dragon, when you play me, buff up to 4 friendly units. When you spend a buff, play a gold gear token. Obviously, the nice part about this is that it's a dragon and kind of synergizes with the rest of this. Direwing readies if you have another dragon. Cadragon lets you draw a bunch of cards if you have mighty units on the field. Bryn here lets you turn off your opponent's spells for the turn. So just a lot of big bunguses for the most part with some combat tricks to keep you in the game. Let's get into the game, speaking of which. Alright, love the map, by the way. That's really cool. A 3rd Aurelia. Cool, 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 cool. Let's slow the game down a little bit. Obelisk of Power. Okay. Interesting choice into a volley, but sure. I mean, for someone who doesn't know, I'm not playing Dazzling Aurora, right? These are fine. I'll put this and this back. Sure. Starting with the Zonias, another one of these. We do get to go to 4 here, which doesn't get us too much, but we do have Mobilize. And then, guess that's it for now. Let's do a Blazing Scorcher. We are going to accelerate it. Get our extra trigger for Volibear, and we're just going to run in here. Okay, and pass over to him. I should have... No, that would be fine. Okay. GA, that thing is not dying. Puts her to a base of 5. Kind of annoying. Yep. Mm-hmm. Alright, so we can go up to 12 next turn if we want, which might be good for Volibear. We can do volley and thing. That's fine. I'm gonna let him stick it there. This is a very developed Aurelia already, and I don't have a lot of hard removal in the deck. Got some big bunguses though, so we'll see. Yep. That really sucks because of Aurelia, but we'll make do. Do I let him get 2 points here? 7, 8, 9, 10. 2. He has too much energy up. Yeah, we're just gonna pass that. I could have got the battlefield, he just takes the unit there. I'd rather run in and actually kill them. That's fine. I think the challenge is a bit of a slow thing into this. Way too much energy up. They just have, like, they'd just be able to proc it again anyways. Yeah, sure. Okay. So he's at 6. Like this. It's up to 11. He's already fucking there. That's crazy. It's not bad. Alright, Ride the Wind's a problem. Have a little bit of wiggle room with Punch First and Challenge. Yep. He got there. Alright. Volley went about as good as you could think. I just think Aurelia is way too fast for this deck to deal with, but maybe I made some mistakes, or maybe I drew poorly. I guess if I had Heralded Scales on the first turn, maybe that would be okay, but I don't know. They got so big so quick. Sticking with the decks that didn't get a ton of value from Spiritforged, and we have Lee Sin. This seems to be one of the worst decks by results right now, which is crazy because I think this is so strong in the current meta, but not like tier 1 or anything, but I think it's like a solid pick in Origins at least. So looking at the battlefields, we have Seat of Power is our new one. When you conquer here, draw 1 for each battlefield your allies control. Not bad, gives you some extra card draw, a bit of extra reach in this matchup. But if you're behind, it's not great. Your opponent just draws extra cards there. So we also have in the main deck the Punch First, just like the last deck. We're running Not So Fast again. Another thing of Thwonk. And the only other new cards here are going to be Fiora Peerless at 1 copy. If she attacks or defends alone, you can double her might, which is pretty okay. With the buff, that puts her up to 8 by herself. But if the opponent attacks with multiple units, kind of screwed. We do have 2 copies of Trinity Force and then 3 copies of Ruin Runner. It says this is a 6 energy, 5 might unit that can't be chosen by enemy spells or abilities. So if we can get them large enough with Trinity Force, with whatever else, it's not too bad. But we'll have to see how that runs into Aurelia probably. Ezreal this time. Let's do Dreaming Tree. I know he has some that he can do there, but spend the buff might be okay, actually. I wouldn't mind the Trinity Force, but it's just too early. Not So Fast is pretty good into Ezreal. Let's put these 2 back for now. Need a unit. Got the Trinity Force anyways. Nothing on my end. Bit of an unfortunate start, but it happens. Decent amount of units in this deck, too. Starting with Ezreal. When he enters, discard 1, draw 2. Yep. Discarding Age of Pain. And then any extra costs or additional costs cost 1 or 8 power less. We are not getting anything, but we can at least put the Trinity Force down. We're going to have to pass back to them. Their battlefield, by the way, Ravenbloom Conservatory. When you defend here, reveal a top card of your main deck. If it's a spell, draw it. Otherwise, recycle. So we're not in a great spot, but I guess he can't trigger his abilities if I don't have any units to trigger them on. So there's that. It's when he defends here is the interesting one. I don't know if I said conquer earlier, but if I don't attack into him, he doesn't get any value there. That's kind of funny. Need a unit. I might just have to play the Lee Sin, which would feel terrible, but you do what you gotta do. Called shot. Yep, because of Ezreal, the second one is free. This card, if you don't know, lets you look at the top 2, put 1 in your hand, recycle the other, and then do it again because of Ezreal. No? Sure. Plundering Poro. When he conquers, you get a gold token. That is not good enough. Kind of sucks. Let's get her out. We'll put a thing down there. And that gives us a little bit of wiggle room with Lee on the following turn. Man, that's been rough. That does leave us with a little bit of interaction, which is nice. Yep. Goes up to 3. Gold. Could just pass. Thoughts on just passing? Treasure Hunter is not just passing. Okay. And maybe play around with that here. Floating energy. So we are now at 5. We're going to run in here. 5 to his 3. He gets to proc Ravenbloom. Bottom. Okay. 5 to 3. What are we doing? Okay, we force the fight or flight. Get that. Now we're going to use a charm. Maybe we can make him waste that card as well. Wedge of Pain. Age of Pain, not Wedge. He's going to target himself. Gets the gold. Honestly, pretty fair. Gets to draw as well. Pass to him. I maybe could have... There was an argument for charming that, but it's whatever. Not too worried about him getting the extra points, especially while I have the Triforce out. Gets a gold, yep. I might just play Lee Sin, but... So he does have 6. So next turn, Watcher's possible. Man, some people on this play so slow. This is what, our 4th deck? I'm an hour and a half into this recording, which is crazy for 4 games. Alright. Get the 2. I think I just win if I hold out, right? 2 discipline there. That puts me up 4. Yeah, I think Watcher still kills me, unfortunately. Singularity. Okay. That's the wrong one. Does get his Ezreal effect. 2 energy left. Not terribly worried here. Might use the charm, actually. Okay. Okay. Stacked deck is fine. Got another one? Cool. That's pretty big. Okay. Do this and this in the base. That leaves me with 2. Not terrible. That's fucking so good. Oh. Okay, Thwonk pretty much guarantees me the game on my turn. And Lee there. And pass back to him. Turn 84, so good for catch up. We had a really slow start to this game. We've only drawn, what, 1.5 units? This and the Poro. Singularity again. Gonna be upset. Oh, that's not how that works. Spent all spell damage. Still gets the draw. He has 4 energy left. I don't think there's anything for 4 energy. Maybe Fight or Flight? That would actually get me off the battlefield. Overzealous fan, when I defend, you may kill me to move an attacking unit to the base. And Treasure Hunter, this is basically just Fight or Flight on a unit, which is kind of cool. 2 points. B for game. You know what? As bad as the draw was, that felt really good, actually. I love the defense options that green offers. It just feels so great. All right, moving on to Darius. I have seen an all yellow version of this deck, but I'm going to be going with the yellow and red. I just think it's more consistent. The only new battlefield here is Emperor Darius. Days. I don't know which one it is. Probably Days. But when you conquer here, you can pay 1 energy and return a unit you control here to its owner's hand. If you do, play a 2 might sand unit token here afterwards. So what we're going to do here is basically get all of our on-play effects and enable things like our Legion abilities over and over again. We get a ton of value that way. So looking through the deck, we have Seal of Unity, a Blood Rush again, so we can trigger more assaults. We have Death Grip. Longsword's a new card here. This is Quick Draw, which means when you play it, it automatically equips to a unit and gives them 2 might, which is kind of nice for 2 power and Or 2 energy and a power. We have Vi. Rally the Troops is an interesting one. When a friendly unit is played this turn, buff it. We're getting a pretty good amount of value out of this deck. We have a ton of little units we can play with, so that's fine. Haven't tested this one out too much, but I understand why it's here. We got our Hidden Blades, 1 Falling Star, 2 Daring Poro, 1 Cull the Weak, 1 Sun Disk, which is an interesting inclusion. This is an Origin card that didn't get a ton of play, but with Legion ability, it can be exhausted, and the next unit you play enters ready. So that's a pretty cool effect. I do like that it's getting some experimentation. Again, this deck is running Honest Broker, which when they die, you get a gold gear. Xin Shao Vigilant. This is 3 energy and a power with the tank ability, but it enters ready if you have 2 or more other units in your base. So that's kind of cool, especially with, we have Baited Hook here, so we can get that pretty easily. 4 might, nothing to laugh at either, especially at 3 energy. We have 1 copy of Rek'Sai Breacher, Accelerate, and Assault, and when a friendly unit is played from anywhere other than a player's hand, they get Accelerate. You do still have to pay the Accelerate cost, but with Baited Hook, that enables some pretty good stuff. Going pretty standard for the rest of the deck. We have Baited Hook, Vanguard Captain, Spectral Matron, Noxus Hopeful, 1 copy of Vayne, Draven Vanquisher, which is the new one, I believe. When I win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted, and when I attack or defend, you can pay a red power. If you do, give me +2 might this turn. Really cool, very flexible. And the rest of the deck, pretty straightforward. Draven Showboat and Grand Stratagem. We're just going to rush them down. So let's see how it works. Roll the dice, another Aurelia. Who would have thought? Let's do the War Camp here, I guess. They are starting, which makes sense. Wow, that's bad. I would like not to play that Vi so early on, but that's fine, I guess. I may have gotten a bit greedy, but there's a ton of units in this deck. It'll probably be fine. I can always play Baited Hook either way. There's the Poro start. Not terrible. That's okay. Can just pay 3 here and get a Baited Hook. Pass back to him. His battlefield this game is Targon's Peak. You conquer ready 2 runes at the end of your turn. Not terrible for him. Probably much better for him than us, though. We do have, like, killing a Hidden Blade, but eh. That is fine, my dude. What I should do is Hidden Blade that, and then he draws a gajillion cards. Pretty good. Alright, Broker is okay. We're going to play our Seal of Unity. We're going to look at the top 5 for a card with more than 2 might, or up to 3. Will be Vanguard Captain. Draven bottom, 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 bottom. Vanguard Captain, when she comes in, I make 2 recruits. So we're going to make a gold and 2 recruits. Yeah. And with that, we're in a much better spot. Obviously, they have a bit of a point advantage here, and they're going to draw some cards because of the Attendant, I think it's called. Stellar Corn Herder. Not Attendant at all. But we will make do. This might avoid them playing the Aurelia. Sure. I like this art a lot. That's really nice. Forgot their hold point. I think this card's really good. It's just so much advantage right off the bat. Vex, that's a cool one. So if you don't know, Vex is while I'm in combat, friendly spells cost 1 and a power less to a minimum of 1, and enemy spells cost more. So that's pretty good. This would have been nice, but it's okay. So we're going to move this here. It's its draw. I go up 1, and then we're going to get 8 over there. Just gonna force it. Don't particularly care which one dies. Sure. Then we will baited hook. Look at the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draven. These can go to the bottom. Might increase by our points. I don't mind letting them get the Vex there, I think. No. Fuck them. I'll let them draw 2. Oh, go for the Defy. Okay. Sure. That is fine by me. It's the hold point. I feel like I played that turn really poorly. I don't know. Tide Turner, yep. It's the other one. Yep. Like this Grand Stratagem here. Could also Darius. Like this into Darius seems fine. Heart of Ice. We cannot counter our spells anymore. Like to see that. Okay. So we're going to rally the troops. And we're going to get Darius out. Gonna push him here. 8 to his 5. Yeah. Fuck, I was thinking of moving this up with it. It sucks. Jeepers, man. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just can't keep up with that at this point. I think I probably played that second turn really poorly, but it's okay. All right, on to the next one. Not too worried about the Darius one not going well. The deck's mostly the same as before, so it's whatever. But on to Jinx. Jinx, pretty much the same battlefield as before. Through the deck, we have Called Shot in here. We have Blood Rush. Called Shot we've seen other people play. Hard Bargain's a new one for the day. 2 energy spell at reaction speed that can be repeated. Counter a spell unless its controller pays 2. So not too terrible. It is a purple counter spell, which we love to see. Switcheroo, another new card. This is hidden for 2 and 2 power. And at action speed, you can swap the might of 2 units at the same battlefield for the turn. So this can do some pretty good stuff for us. We've seen like when we have a bunch of 1/1s, they swing in Aurelia and she gets 10 might. So, you know, this helps with that. Otherwise, we have Overzealous Fan, which can push a unit back if they are defending by killing themselves. So it's kind of, like I said, a built-in fight or flight. Treasure Hunter makes a gold when she moves. Fizz, really cool addition. When you play me, you can play a spell from your trash with energy cost no more than 3, ignoring its energy cost. Recycle that spell after you play it. So we have access to any spell in the deck, really. Any spell in the deck, which is good. Got Inverted Timelines, Noxus Hopeful, and Battering Ram, another new one. Costs 1 less for each card you've played this turn to a minimum of 1. So again, just a decent deck overall. Just trying to be as aggressive as possible by spamming out cheap units and spells. Alright, we're going with Jinx this time. Alright. 8 Seeing Vi in the opening hand. guess she's better than nothing. Nah, we'll be risky. Deck's pretty cheap overall. What are the odds we don't draw? Okay. Never mind, we're good. Treasure Hunter. Pass to you. It's a nice thing we move this. We get to activate Zon Warrens to discard our Flame Chompers and then play them for actual 3. Oh. They get Obelisk of Power, so we do start with an extra 1. 2 Poros is kinda good. 2 Poros and a Seal is pretty good. Alright, Miss Renata. Going to discard 1. Alright. So, unfortunately, this does come in tapped, which is fine. And we can do Legion Hopeful there. I think that's fine, honestly, at that point. The Legion should hopefully keep the Poros off so they don't get their Conquerors thing. Renata, for you guys who don't know, blue and yellow, when an ally holds, you can exhaust them, play a gold gear token exhausted. While your score is within 3 points of winning, your gold also adds an energy as well, so it gets really out of hand very fast. And this card is super scary. 1 and a blue to draw, which is good on its own, and then 4 and 4 blue to tap her and score a point. You can only do that at a battlefield. So, something to be a little bit aware of. Alright, so we are letting him fix that. He gets the 2 gold there. That's fine. I should have rode the wind. I wasn't paying attention. I was reading her stuff. So you go in there. We'll ride the wind now. So we had to give him a conquer point. Not terribly worried. Hidden card? Probably Hidden Blade. Or the wage thing. Wage thing, more likely. Let's throw this up here. Okay. We're gonna called shot. The top 2, or cycle 1. Drop both of these. I would like to get a little bit lower if possible, but, you know, make do with what we got. I fucked up that one turn pretty bad, actually, thinking about it. It's 2 gold and a point. Oh, new card, if you guys don't know, when you play them, if you control 2 or more gear, ready them. So, a pretty big mistake. Are they playing the Renata? I can force the Renata out, even if they have this. By switcherooing. Yeah. Okay. Using the Renata to draw. It's not even an exhaust effect. It's crazy. And not once per turn. Sure. So we can kill them because that. Get our hold point. Hidden Blade on near her. Sure. Okay. And now we go with Jinx. Still killer. Oh, yeah, discard 2. Alright, super not great. We're pretty much out of energy altogether, but you know, that's Jinx. And that one mistake really built up. At 4. Yep. Thousand-tailed watcher. Bastard behavior. It's the other one as well. I wish I kept that other switcheroo, but it's fine. I wouldn't have had the energy to play it. I haven't seen one ride the wind. I need to not draw it this turn. And haven't been in a spot to use the Jinx effect at all. Bit unfortunate. Fuck me, man. Okay. Okay. The other one might be better, but to get Vi out this turn. Just force it. No. Yeah, if that's like the wage thing, kills one of them and then doesn't work. Yeah. She can make 2 of those. Kind of nutty. Is that 2 or 1? Yeah, it'd be 2, right? Broker's fine. Bro, that's a shit hand. They made an extra button for this, huh? Alright, we are going to run them in here. Hostile takeover hidden. Take control of an enemy unit of battlefield. Ready it. That is game. Shit. I was hoping to play her, then Fizz, then ride the wind, but oh well. I fucked up really bad at the beginning of the game. On to Misfortune, we have yet another Dazzling Aurora list. Again, we're using the paper tree over here, which when someone holds, you get to channel 1 rune. Pretty good. The rest of the list, pretty standard. Punch first. We have another hard bargain. This is a new one for this video, is Ancient Henge. For 2 and a power is a gear that you can tap at reaction speed to pay any amount of energy for that much power. So it synergizes super well with the bullet time spell, as well as punch first. Anything that has that power cost associated to it is just a little bit easier to deal with. Now, similar to the card in the Garen deck, where we were recycling cards back to the deck to keep the Dazzling Aurora going, we have Last Rites here, which is a new gear as well. To equip it, you need to recycle 2 cards from your trash. Again, we're just picking those big units and putting them back in the deck. Pretty okay. This also says, when I conquer or hold, you may play a unit from your trash. Like, that's perfect for this deck. It's just going to be really strong. Otherwise, pretty standard. We have Mind Splitter here. We have our Volibears as well. Just a bunch of top end. So, pretty standard. We're just going to get into the game. Yet another Irelia. Sure, man. Play Aspirant's Climb here. Okay. Both of these back. Got a Volibear. That's not great. Okay. Start with stack deck. Grab that. And we'll start with stack deck. Not great, not terrible. He's doing the same thing though, so that's something. And again, we do have Aspirant's Climb, so we have a little bit of extra time. Hopefully that helps. Exact same play, cool. All right, we are mobilizing. He defies one, I play the second. That's a good... Man, these Volibears, though. Alright. 1, 2. To hand. Bottom. 2. And to bottom. Pass to him. We're getting all the... What have we gone through so far? All 3 mobilize, Aeons, 2 stack deck, called shot. Yep. If he taps out, I'm gonna just send the Misfortune in. That's very good. Yep. Ready it. Man, that's a good turn. Holy shit. Fuck me. Okay. 3rd stack deck. Okay. That's fine. He does defy that. We're just going to play Misfortune. Yeah. Another Ride the Wind, bro. Fuck, I would like to see a Dazzling Aurora at some point, but that's fine. This is a rough set of draws. Bro, what is happening? Have Volibear down at least, but I don't know how good that is at this point. Does block her 13, 18 with her. He has a million cards in hand, doesn't matter. Yep. It's at 9. Yep. 11 to my 3. $13 to my 14. 16. Yep. All right. Finally hit it. Might be a little bit late, but that is Dazzling Aurora Gaming. Yep. That fucking sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't draw it. Homie puts, I don't know how Aurelia's not winning every game. It felt so good right now. I played one card. What do you mean? I played Misfortune and Volibear that entire game. All right, following Misfortune, we have Lux, who has been seeing some decent support, or some success at least, in China. Again, we're doing the Ravenbloom Conservatory in the battlefields. We got a couple new cards in the main deck. We have Bellows Breath, which is a 1 power, 1 energy spell at action speed. You can repeat it as well. That deals 1 damage to up to 3 units at the same location. So you can hit things that are in the base, which is nice. You can hit things that are clumped up on the battlefield, which is nice. You can't deal more than 1 damage to each unit. That's a little bit annoying without repeating it, but still. We have our Salvage, we have our Plundering Poro, Altar of Memories again. Forecaster's a new one. 2 energy, 2 might for this mech. Your mechs have Vision, which means when you play them, you can look at the top card of your deck, and you can recycle it if you want. We have Wages of Pain. We've seen a couple other people play it. 3 energy for a hidden spell at action speed. Deal 3 damage to a unit at a battlefield and play a Gold Gear Exhausted. The big one for this deck is Jace, Man of Progress, though. 4 energy for 4 might. When you play me, you may kill a friendly gear. If you do, you may play a gear with energy cost no more than 7 from your hand this turn, ignoring that energy cost. And again, we're going to be relying on Vanguard Armory the exact same way we did with the Garen deck. Outside of that, pretty standard across the board. That is really the only gear that we have to worry about. Altar of Memories as well. But yeah, not bad. We're going to be trading a gold for a Vanguard Armory, hopefully. All right, we're running into a Rumble. Fucking finally something cool. Let's try Grand Plaza. Minefield. When you conquer here, put the top 2 cards of your main deck into the trash. So let's mulligan here. Okay, I don't mind this one, and no, we'll go here. A little bit greedy, but all right, if we can find Jace, we'll be in a good spot. Pass to you, my dude. For those who don't know, Rumble says your mechs have shield, and then his hero card here, if he would stop playing things. Your mechs have +1 might, and when I hold, play a 3 might unit mech in your base. That's all fine. We're just gonna play Lux here. And we'll pass it back to him. These new ones, we got the Hex Plate. Equips for 1 blue, gives a mech, or turns something into a mech and gives it +1 might. And then Forecaster is, we've also had it in our deck, so that's fine. We do have Lux, we can start doing stuff next turn. Just dropping Rumble. We're going to... Yes, we can do this. Where is it? Oh, I put it back. Okay, and then we can get a Poro out, which isn't too bad at all. Fortunately, that does put us a turn behind, so we can't Vanguard Armory. I thought I had the Comet in hand, but it's fine. Darius. If another one of these, that's kind of fun. Put that up. A gold token. Or make 4 recruits. Then we have the 2 extra here. Might as well nuke this to draw a card. Alright, ton of removal for stuff. We have Watcher as well. If we can get the Grand Stratagem, I think we'll be in an okay spot. Oh, we have a point. What are we doing over there, bud? Rumble. Next have Assault. When I conquer, you may recycle another friendly unit. Play a mech from your trash. Alright. Okay, that's fine. Gonna kill one of each player's units. Sure, man. That is fine. We're just going to pass, I think. Could conquer. I'm just gonna hold up a bunch of units though. Another Rumble. He's not playing it to a battlefield. I could use this, which is a little bit annoying that he's not letting me, but it's fine. Yep. Yep. Sure. All right. That's fine. 2, 3, 4. Nope. 3. All right. Whenever a unit takes damage this turn, kill it. Okay, and then we will go double Ornn. Just one Ornn. That's pretty good, actually. I really like that in combination with the Emperor. And then I will... one here, one here. Okay, that's pretty okay. I could still watch her next turn in combination with all these little things. I have access to Singularity. If I can get another one of these Vanguard Armories, I'd be in a really good spot. He left. You know, Lux seems pretty good. I love playing Lux. She's so fun. Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Our next deck is going to be Yasuo. I just started playing this in paper games, so it's been pretty okay so far. I definitely feels like one of the harder decks to play, though. As for our new battlefields, there are none. The rest of the deck, fairly similar to what we're dealing with already, but a couple new cards from Spiritforged. First of all, not so fast, counters anything that targets your stuff, which is pretty useful in Yasuo specifically. Guardian Angel also lets you revive your things. Again, we have very few units, but they're very impactful in this. Similar to Aurelia, but less scummy. Yeah, if a unit has this equipped when it dies, it comes back to life. It's like a Zhonya's that you can target onto something, which is nice. We have Hard Bargain, again, a counterspell as well. We're running Overzealous Fan, Lonely Poro. We are running a Ezreal here, as well as Treasure Hunter. Ezreal we saw earlier, but this is when you play them, discard a card and draw 2, and your optional cards cost 1 or a power less. That will really only affect the Hard Bargain, I believe. Then we have Boots of Swiftness, which gives a unit ganking and 2 might. Super crazy card. We have Heart of Darkness, give a unit 3 might for the turn. We have Stellar Corn. We saw how crazy this card is, especially with Ride the Wind. Whenever they move, you get to draw 1. Vex, we talked about earlier, lowers your card's cost during combat and raises your opponent's. And then, of course, we have our Aurelia, and Draven is a new one for the day. This is 6 energy and a power for 6 might. Deflect, so they have to pay more to target him. And the first time that he wins a combat each turn, you get an extra point. But if he dies in combat, you have to choose an opponent and they get a point. So ideally, we're not letting him die in combat with effects like Ride the Wind, or Fight or Flight, or Defy, or whatever else. Defy wouldn't super be helpful in combat, but you understand what I mean. We're going to try and keep him alive as much as we can so we can get extra points while denying the opponent extra points. All in all, seems like a very fun deck. It looks like Aurelia, but less degenerate, and that seems like where I want to be. So let's try it out. Viktor, okay. That seems okay. We will... I don't think I need Rebuke against his deck almost at all. Draw for turn. Alright, starting with Treasure Hunter, not bad. So hopefully we can do some silly stuff with that. So ideally, we're going to move this up to Targon, and then play the Stellar in the back row. And then when he moves up next turn, we can use Ride the Wind, or what is this? When you play a spell, on your opponent's turn, you may exhaust me. Play a gold token, exhaust it. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to move her up. Make a gold. Get her points. And then we will play her in here. You're good. I feel like I play too scared with Ride the Wind. Should maybe be more aggressive with it. Okay. Sure. Another boy. Going up to 6 here. Better whole point. So let's do X there. Move Stellar Corn. Draw a card. Another one's there. We can just pass, I think. It's interesting, people have been switching to the blue Viktor lately. 6. Singularity? Sure, I'm 1 energy short on being able to play that. Okay. Yep. A little bit of a timing thing there, but that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. No hidden card for you. Yep. I'm gonna ride the wind here. Okay, end of turn. My dude is obsessed with the emojis on here. Just a trigger, that's fine. Reavers is weird, because he can just do that later anyways. Okay. We're going to 2, 3, 4, 5 for Aurelia. 1, 2. Shuffle that. Ready her. Hidden Blade. Feel free. I'll draw the cards. It's fine. And then move her. Draw a card. Get the point. And we will pass back to you. So we have a bit of protection here. The Guardian Angel's super nice on Aurelia. And then the Stellar Horn, whatever it is, has been drawing so many cards. Really nice. As for them, they probably have another Singularity, if I had to guess. And they probably wanted to use a Hidden Blade there, but the Guardian Angel said no. Maybe a Vengeance, possible as well. For 7. Yep. Okay. Sure. Bro, why do people keep leaving? Okay, cool. Game for Yasuo, I guess. All right, on to Teemo. Again, we're looking at the paper tree here. We also have When You Conquer here, put the top 2 cards of your main deck into the trash with the Minefield. So this works really well with a lot of the cards that want you to recycle or have a big trash in Teemo. Specifically Dr. Mundo, not Master Yi. Yeah, looking into the deck, we have a copy of Called Shot over one of the copies of Stacked Deck. I don't know how I feel about that, but it's fine. I think I prefer Stacked Deck overall, but whatever. We do have the discard package in this deck with the Scrap Heap and Traveling Merchant. We have the Hard Bargain and Switcheroo that we've seen in most of the purple decks so far today. We have a couple copies of Treasure Hunter as well, Wages of Pain, Prodigy Ezreal, all things we've seen across the board, just all the good stuff kind of stacked into a Teemo deck with a top end of Dr. Mundo. So, not much to super go over here, but looks like a fun one. Draven. That is a good deck. All right, they are starting. I don't like Called Shot this early. That's, I don't know. Double Treasure Hunter I don't mind, though, so we'll keep that. Gust is great as well. Cool. Very happy with that. Haven't played against too much Draven, but he seems very strong just on paper. This card's so good as well. Definitely a new staple in purple. Probably about as much as the Traveling Merchant had been. Alright, what are we starting with? Treasure Hunter? Treasure Hunter. Okay. One from me as well. And sure. A stack deck here. I don't mind the extra unit. Has the gold there. We can maybe generate an extra gold with Tide Turner. Might be a little bit aggressive. Happy. That's good. That is why I didn't want to pick Zon Warrens for myself. Merchant. Another one? Yep. Okay. So we're at 5. We could do that as well, but there's, I guess, no hurry for that. One of those, get our point. We're going to here. Hide the Teemo, and I think we'll call it there. Teemo should hopefully be enough that he won't attack there. If he does, I do have Gust to kind of fix the odds a little bit. The next turn we can work with the Traveling Merchant and Zon. It's another thing there, yep. Don't just stack. Ah, it's exhausted, you're right. Will you leave me alone so we each get to channel? Will not. Guess a discard and draw first. Sword, that's a good one. Flip Teemo here. Have it. I'll bounce the other one. And this guy slow plays like crazy. Discard draw. Playing him again. Yep. So we have a Mundo here. That's exciting a little bit. Sure. Move him up. Another one of these seems good. I am gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then and one there. And I think that'll be it for now. Really would have liked to hold one more energy, but whatever. So that'll be nice. Gives me a little bit more leeway with Mundo next turn. I can play him and ride the wind if I need to. This is just Vi, right? He discarded a Kaisa? That's crazy. So he's expecting that's Teemo down, I think. I hope. It's a ton of energy, though. Right now we're trading. Another Kaisa? Darius. Okay. Draven signature spell. Quick draw. This is unattached. Kill it. Yada yada. How much does this give? 10. That's unfortunate. And if I had 2 more energy, I could do a really cool play next turn. Just 3. Ezreal. solve that problem. I'm going to discard, draw, and answer this. I don't think so. Bye. Rebuke. Ugh. Yucky. That's rough. Yeah, Rebuke is more popular in the set because of all the gold. I think that makes cards like Mundo less powerful, unfortunately. Fizz. Gust would be really annoying. Fighter Flight's less annoying. Okay, discarding like 50 cards. Each have to channel for him holding as well. Oh man, I don't think I got this one, unfortunately. Butcher is kind of funny. Yeah. Oh well. You got that one. On to Ahri, another one that kind of lost a bit of popularity going into the next set. I think there's a lot of cool support cards for her, though. Starting off, we have Ravenbloom Conservatory. Again, we're just fishing 4 cards for spells from the top of our deck on the defense, which is kind of what Ahri wants to do in general. Feral Strength is a new spell for her, 2 energy with reaction and repeat to give a unit +2 might this turn. Essentially, somewhere in between what On Guard and Discipline are. Pretty good. Thwonk, which is stun a unit, as we talked about. Again, repeatable. Pretty solid there. Meditation's good draw. Desert Call gives you some Sand Soldiers. That's okay. Again, Emperor's Divide. Move any number of friendly units at a battlefield to their base. This can be used to protect your board, which is fantastic if they ever do overwhelm what you have built up. People have started running Eager Apprentice because of all these extra spells, which is pretty okay. Janna, really interesting one. So for 3 energy and a power, you get a 3 might unit at reaction speed, so similar to how Shen was in the original set. And she says, when you play me, heal your units here, then move an enemy unit from here to its base. So it functions as a Shen, a Fighter Flight, and a heal. Pretty okay as a card. Otherwise, we have 3 Sona to justify all these extra spells. We have some Blitzcrank to pull them into you when you're on the Ravenbloom Conservatory. Just a bunch of good stuff. Wouldn't mind seeing a Time Warp in here, but still very happy with how this looks overall. All right, we have found a match finally. We're going to keep the Observatory. Let's go Dreaming Tree. They are going first. Man, my dice rolls have been rough today. I like having the Sona. Desert Call is okay. I'll just put this back, honestly. Sivir. For those who don't know, when you recycle... God, I hate that it does this. When you recycle a rune, you may exhaust me to play a gold gear token exhausted. When one or more energy units die, ready me. So we're going to start with Desert's Call, I guess. And we will just pass from there. As for the champion, this is 4 and a power for 4 might. Accelerate. I hate this fucking site sometimes, man. We'll counter it. And then if you've spent at least 2 power this turn, I have 2 might and ganking. Pretty okay. Create gold token, sure. That's really good in that deck. So we're going to move this. Whoa. I'm assuming that's okay. And we're going to drop Sona there. The Sona untaps 4 energy every turn, kind of like an upgraded Annie, while she's at a battlefield. So you can really make do with a lot of your cards here, with Meditation in particular on Dreaming Tree. So good. Stack deck is fine. We have to watch for the energy cost, or the power cost that they pay because of that Sivir. But outside of that, not terrible. I think this is probably going to be one of the stronger decks in the game in this set, which is crazy because like all I've seen today is Irelia. Catalyst of Guns. It's fine. Called Shot. That's fine. That's really good in that deck. Okay. Called Shot again. Gust. That's upsetting. Yep. Okay. So we're going to A2. We're going to Eager Apprentice for 3. And then, oh, our point. And then end of turn. Untap 4, pass it back. Dazzling Aurora. That's kind of annoying. What do we got over there? Another Dazzling. Mind Splitter, sorry. So they do get a choice between the two. Both of them draw me, though. Probably would have preferred to keep that if I could. That is super annoying. I'm gonna do this. Super good draw. So Thwonk is going to help a lot. Depending on where he wants to move there. That's fine. Bro, another one. Jeepers. Wish I was on Green Ahri or Trinity Force right now. Be nice. Also, just want to say, my Dazzling Aurora game, I drew way more and did not see that card. Another fucking Mind Splitter. That sucks, man. Oh, man. In time. Want to play your cards? Okay. Okay. I feel like I would have gone for the stun there, but that's fine. I can't do too much with that. We're just gonna put her here, maybe, and then do have to make it all the way up to 9 points, though. Ton of cards in hand. I don't know if that deck runs a Volibear, but that would be a little bit annoying. Another goddamn Mind Splitter. Holy shit, man. At least that's all of them. Still a Sabotage. I'd be less tilted if I hadn't been playing for 4 hours at this point, and if he wasn't playing so slowly, but it's fine. We're fine. 3 Mind Splitters in 2 turns. 3 turns, I guess. Homie cursing at me when he's been stalling? That's crazy. I think he really wanted me to waste the thing there. Sure. Yeah. It's insane that he knows my hand. He keeps like spamming question mark to see if I'm responding. Like, I cannot respond to that. He's saying, I'm slow playing, I'm gonna lose my mind. It's his turn. I don't have access to play cards. What do you mean? Sure. I feel like I'm losing my mind that he's slow playing while having all of these options. Dead Bloom. What? Yeah. That is not a unit. Just so you guys understand, this game has gone on for 45 minutes. And it has not been me slowing it. I'm getting tilted, I'm sorry. Gotta find a watcher. There's 3 in the deck right now. So I think if I can get a watcher, any card that buffs my board, I think I'm okay to challenge something. Yep. Or I could draw another Sona. That's a bit of an issue. 1 unit. Fuck. If they don't have the unit available, then if I can clear the board, it just goes. Yeah, you got there. Got a dead draw. Alright, that was all kinds of tilting, but it's done now, so let's move on to Sett. Should be a fun one. Sett gets the Sunken Temple as a new battlefield. Again, this is the one that you get to draw if you're mighty, if you pay 1 energy. Not too bad. Other cards in the new deck here, we have Warmog's Armor, which gives 1 might while equipped, and if you conquer, you get to buff something. Pretty much exactly what Sett wants. We have Punch First, which gives the unit 5 might. We have Death Grip. Sea Monkey is a new one. 2 energy for a 2 might unit. You can pay 1 extra cost, and if you do, then he comes in with a buff. He's basically taking over what Cythria used to do in most cases. Outside of that, we have Doran's Blade, 2 energy and 2 might on this equipment. Pretty solid. Lucian is a new addition as well. So the first time he conquers each turn, you can ready him. So you push him in, conquer, pull him back out. It makes him extremely difficult to deal with, especially if he is now buffed, and Sett can just keep reviving him. Outside of that, top end is pretty low on this deck. We're only up to a 4 with Fiora, so very cheap overall. We do have the addition of Akshan as well. This is another Weapon Master unit, so when you play him, you get to equip gear right away. 4 energy for 4 might. You can pay 2 additional power as an additional cost to pay him. When you play me, if you paid that cost, move an enemy gear to your base. You control it until I leave the board. If it's an equipment, attach it to him. Crazy. That Dazzling Aurora I just faced, that would be mine. Pretty cool. But yeah, really cool card. Hopefully this leads to a fun game. Alright, we're going to go Trifarian Warcamp into a Kaisa, just so we can hopefully keep our units alive from their removal. They have the Dreaming Tree over there, that makes sense. Alright, so what are we starting with? You know, put the Sett back, but otherwise pretty okay with this. Oh, they play fast. It's so beautiful. Pass to you. Plundering Portal's interesting in Kaisa. Because she already saves on the energy there, right? For the power. Kaisa. Let's do Fiora here. And I think that's fine. Let's do this. Alright, that's not bad. It contests Kaisa, which is kind of nice. I maybe could have put Hidden Blade there, but whatever. So next turn we can go Pit Rookie and then Fiora, or to buff Fiora. If they kill that one, we can always just put the equipment on Fiora as well, which is pretty good. I do like the Plundering Portal the more I think about it. Like, Kaisa already saves so much that you can really get away with a lot more greedy plays. Wondering what play that over though. Probably the red portal, right? Yeah, that's fair. 2 to another. Ooh. Sure. Alright, she gets that. It's annoying. Probably go for it though, right? Let's go Showstopper. Kill the Kaisa there. You guys have so much more energy than I do. That is fine. Yep. You play me, you and each opponent a gear token. Find the extra, it's fine. Okay. Full point. Two, three. Okay, we'll grab the Dreaming Tree there. That's fine. Challenge might be okay here to deal with one of these. That's kind of a cool card too. They went really in on this conserving energy thing. Box. Four because of itself. So the extra, there's the cleave. Okay. Does he move the other one as well? No. That one card late, huh? That's cool. Cool. Alright, we're going to pay 2. Get the point there. We'll put the first mate up here. We're just going to conserve as much energy as we can. Alright. Little miscommunication on his part. That's fine. He's going to double up and kill that. This guy seems really chill. That's nice. Okay, so we're going to hit him. Gets his draw. I think I win if he doesn't have an answer for these. I have this to save 1. Watcher brings me down to 4. I think I get there with this. Sett's too much thinking, which is an insane thing to say, but it's not. It's a deck I thought I was going to be very excited for, and I cannot do this shit. Playing for Time Warp? Yeah, man. What do you mean? Let me just cancel that in yellow and orange. Alright, so this top deck decides. Stupefy. Sure. Not in a great spot after that's been killed. Okay. He could have Blade Seeker. First mate for game. Alright, we got there. That's pretty cool. Sett's fun. I just don't know how to play him. Alright, moving into the final 3 with Master Yi. Again, we have Rockfall Path as a new battlefield. We also have 2 new ones as well on top of that, with Forge of the Fluffed. When you control this battlefield, friendly legends have the ability to be tapped to attach an equipment you control to a unit you control. This is very cool, especially on legends that don't have their own real abilities like Master Yi does, or activated abilities. Then we have Forgotten Monument. Players can't score here until the 3rd turn, buy you a little bit of time. So the deck is pretty standard and similar to the old one with a couple new Spiritforged cards. Punch First is an obvious inclusion, as is Guardian Angel. We have the Brutalizer, which is a 2 energy gear that equips and gives 1 might, but the turn that it equips, it gives 2. Pretty cool. We have Sea Monkey once again. Thwonk has made a return. Lonely Poro made a return. Desert Call made a return. A lot of the cards we saw in other decks as well. Akshan is here, which I love. We have Trinity Force, so if we're holding, we can get an extra point. And Navori's Scout, which is a 4 for 4 that has Deflect. Pretty okay. It's kind of similar to a Kiana without paying the power cost, but you don't get the draw or channel effects. So there's, there's some good, some bad to it. Alright, Viktor. Let's grab that one. Can't see him playing many gear here. He's going first. I cannot win these dice rolls. Alright, this is a million miles away. We don't got to worry about that. I like this. It's too expensive early on, though. So we'll get rid of that. Got it back. Cool. Raven Bloom. Okay. Making a unit and pass. Love to see it. 3. So we're going to make our own unit. And then pass as well. And 4 for Viktor early on. That's kind of cool. Alright. I'm going to charm that Viktor in, I think. Yep. So I get the point there. Get his ass. Show. Oh, don't mind if I do. Alright, we're going to put a Brutalizer in the back, and we will pass back to him. Good turn for us. Completely negated everything he did the first turn. Kill unit battlefield 2 or less, yeah. I probably should have put Brutalizer on him. But we do force out a thing. I also could have played that. I'm not really that concerned with saving that, though. We do need another unit. He also seems to be pretty low on units, though. So we have a little bit of time. We got a monkey. I'll pay a third. That's okay. What are they doing for 7? For actual 7. Yep. Can I draw Akshan? Sure. That's fine with me. Navori's okay. Spell, right? Okay. He's blocking for 5 on his turn. I think that's probably fine. I thought he had another one. I was very upset. 5 and 2. Oh. Is that what we're doing this for? Okay. Oh, maybe the bellow? Yeah. Yep. Top card. It's just a spell. Gets a point on each. Yep. Could use a unit if possible. This hasn't really felt like it's super useful here. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, all this stuff is just building tall, and that doesn't do anything against that deck, unfortunately. Could get Yi out. Yeah. Not a battlefield. Okay. Alright, need something here. Akshan would be nice. This is getting kinda out of hand. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason the Viktor deck should ever lose to like any deck that builds tall. Sure. Something. That's 6. Really rough matchup. Yep. It's 2, 4. Monkey. Let's do 8. Gonna run him in. Face breaker. Okay. Oh. Another face breaker. That's not great for me. Where have you been? GG. Dang, that is brutal. That's like the worst matchup I've seen in the game so far. The good news is I hate Yi, so that's fine. I'm more than happy that they lost. Looking over at Viktor, we have a pretty similar list to what I just played against, I'd imagine. Ravenbloom Conservatory, Treasure Hoard, which is when you conquer here, you can pay 1 energy to make gold. Outside of that, we have all of the standard stuff we just saw as well. Bellows Breath, Blood Money, which was kill a unit with 2 or less. If it's an enemy unit, you get a gold token. If it's your unit, you get 2. We have Honest Broker, Wages of Pain, Jace, and Vanguard Armory. Pretty much all the same stuff. I obviously have my Karthus Viktor list that I really like, but that's not what we're showing off today. Playing against an Ornn, finally something different. Alright, we'll go to Ravencroft. Ravenbloom, Ravencroft. Vile Mauslayer, okay. Alright, we'll see how much bullshit I was spewing when I said that this deck shouldn't lose to that deck, because that's pretty much similar to the Master Yi one. Jace and... I'm okay with the rest, honestly, but I'm gonna be a little bit greedy. I'm gonna search for that artifact. Not artifact, gear. Get 2 of them for free, that's nice. GA to start is pretty okay. Nothing there. We will tap Viktor, make a lad, and pass to... Felsfanger. Great, I'm sure there's not going to be any ruling problems with that. We'll put him here. We will put Viktor out and another one and hide this. No one. Okay. Spellslonger copies the effects of whatever it's attached to, so that can get out of hand pretty quickly. Guardian Angel, yep. Have +1 for each friendly gear. Sure. Once Spellsfonger's attached, that will be a little bit annoying. Him up. Let's put here. And then outside of that, I am good to go. World Atlas, that one's super good. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, put Spellslonger on. Yep. So he's +8. You know, I had all those kill spells. I'd like to see some of them. Potentially, you know? I would need a few in a row. Yep. Gold. Okay. Trigger the battlefield. Sure. Not gonna complain about that. Man, this is driving me crazy. Point for holding. All these combo decks that I cannot draw the combos at all. Kind of annoying. That's fine. Tap him. Make another recruit. Get rid of one of these. And visible to no one. Get that there. Pass back to you, my dude. Kill spells. The Gear, a million things I could find here. This is for 7. Yep. Gotta pay her deflect cost, which is fine. Didn't even see that she had that, but that's fine. So we're gonna flip this to that's okay. Sure. So we have an answer for the 2. Finally found some kind of removal. It's cool. Another one. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. He has Wind Wall. That's kind of upsetting. Does have Wind Wall. That's kind of upsetting. Yeah. Oh. Has to be at a battlefield, you're right. Okay. 2 of these. Move 1 up. Fuck it. And guess pass. Can kill Ornn, but I need to be at 6 when that, well, 7. Literally none of the unit cards, 2 kill cards, like tank, sure. There's a 28 Ornn, huh? 29 Ornn. Fucking cool, finally. Okay, hold points. All right, we're going to go three of those there. And then I think we're just gonna hit my own thing. Okay. That should let me be okay here. So he needs to clear that battlefield or I should be good. Yep. +4 to that Ornn. Oh, this Tiana. Man, that's annoying. And Ornn has tank. Now, is that last card Wind Wall? Salt the Past could be Wind Wall. No, Wind Wall costs 3. Aha. All right. Not go back to... Yeah, recall. Okay. Gets the wind wall off the top. Shit. Okay. Alright, pass. Has the wind wall, which is a little bit annoying. Alright, what did you play? Poro Snacks. Kill it, draw one. Poro Snacks. Draw one. Three Poro Snacks. So he doesn't have a proper Zonias anymore. If he does, I'm not super happy, but fine. Get him to spend 6 mana. Is that too much to ask? Force it out of him. Okay. These. Yeah. Oh, I'm 1 energy short because I'm stupid. Just when it kills. In my head, that lowered it. No, it's not, though. Shit. Dang. Man, that... Just unfortunate. My Viktor deck would have been fine. That's okay. Our second last deck is going to be Annie. This one is okay. The map, the deck list is all fucky-wucky, but we have Treasure Hoard here again. Blood Rush. A lot of cards we've seen before in other decks. Again, we're testing out the Sun Disc, which is kind of cool. Fizz is back. Draven's back. Basically all the stuff we saw before in Jinx, but with Annie this time. Alright, we got a Kaisa here. Sanctum. Interesting. Always Vi in the opening hand in these games. Okay, I guess. Man, these suck. That helps. Good to go, man. Howdy, Poro. Get the boy and pass over to you. So I do have the choice between Accelerating Kaisa. I'm not playing Void Seeker on that thing. Okay, we got a... What is it? Lecturing Yordle. That's fine. Gets to scry 2. Sure. Treasure Hunter. They are at 1. Just gonna be chill. Chill. Okay. 1 point. Draw a card. And that's probably fine. It's interesting seeing how Candlelit Sanctum's becoming more popular. It's like people really value the deck fixing. So we do have Flash here for whatever they have. We don't need Flash for that. But we might need Flash for that. Yep. Again, leaving one energy up. It's a little bit annoying. Okay. For holding. Let's Tide Turner. And then we can do this. Okay. Draw. That's pretty cool. I'm not going to play anything else just so I can have some responses on his turn. So we have both Flash and Void Seeker here. Flash saves both units, sort of, sometimes. This does look like just a set 1 deck though, so maybe I have some kind of advantage, but it was the best set 1 deck for what that's worth. And I've only played set 1 cards so far, so really no one's cheating. Okay, I'll let him have that battlefield. This way I can get Darius, or the Dreaming Tree. I drew a Darius. This is really good into Thousand Tail Watcher too. Ooh. Don't like that. 8 energy here, so I can do Darius and Void Seeker if I really want to. Do I? Not particularly. Nope. That's how math works. He does know I have a second Darius. That's cool. So we have 8 over there. Kaisa over there. Let's force that. Okay. We're gonna move this up. Okay. We're gonna move this up. Alright. Then we're going to pass turn. Man, can't believe there's only reds left in the thing. That's rough. Kathy and Rain. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. I could use a... Not that. Fucking no. Jesus. Salt 2 seems fine. Can I draw? Your Flash is okay. So he goes to 7. If he has Watcher, I have an answer. It's good. I am much more comfortable playing Annie, but not with all the new cards yet. X-Ray. Yeah, that's rough. But good game either way. think that went pretty well. All right, and our final champion to play is Kai'Sa, of course. Again, we have the Ravenbloom Conservatory, Dreaming Tree, and I like Reaver's Row in this. Other people do other things, but Kai'Sa's pretty flexible with that third spot. So the main deck is pretty typical, other than a few new additions. Like I said, the Plundering Poro has replaced the other red Poro. We have Piercing Light in here now, which is deal 2 damage to a unit at a battlefield and 2 to one other unit, and you can repeat it. Pretty good. Everything else is pretty much the same as it used to be, though. All right, we have a Viktor player once again. We're playing Kai'Sa this time. I think I played against them earlier, actually. So let's take a look here. I want to say the Reaver's Row. I want to say the Reaver's Row is probably best against Viktor because we can at least dodge the one spell there. Okay, I get the Dreaming Tree anyways. Cool. Rolled a 2. I think I rolled higher than a 10 4 times in 16 games. All right, he wants second. Okay. What the fuck is this? Guess it's good to see the Acathian into Viktor, but what the hell? Alright, get the Ravenbloom. Pass to you, my dude. Played with Kai'Sa deck in like a month and a half. 2 for bird. Respect bird law in this house. Yep. Back to me. I think I'm just going to do one here. And rather than playing Kai'Sa, we're going to go with a Watcher. Sure did draw all the expensive cards in the deck, huh? But we're still okay. We got a couple 2-drops. X-Ray's helpful. Alright, moving the bird. What else are we doing here? Playing Viktor? Not Viktor. Vanguard Captain. 2 recruits. Another recruits. He's got 6 to play around with on his turn. Gonna get the point there. We're just going to run out Kai'Sa. Draw our card. Stupefies okay. Pull him back. Alright. I think the draw is probably better than holding the extra energy in this one. Especially because like everything on his field is 1/1 anyways. So, like, who cares about lowering them by 1? So we're also on Reaver's Row, which lets us pull out if we need to. That does not let us pull out, but we do draw 2 cards. I will take it. There's the treat. Can still hit him for Acathian Rain next turn if we need. We have Thousand Tail Watcher. Got 5 up. Got 2 more procs of Acathian if I need them. Saving 5 is a little bit annoying. Nope, saving 4. Does he play the other Viktor? I kind of wish he put that to the other side. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to Darius. Then let him run him up. Hidden Blade lets me go into retreat. Sure. I'm gonna be extra greedy. That lets me put that up to 4. Normally I wouldn't be that aggressive with it, but based on what we have in our hand, I think we're okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Got to drain a rune from him as well. Not too upset about that. Next turn we can go Darius and something as well. I keep saying as well and I can't stop it. I've been playing Riftbound for 6 hours now. Make it stop. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun. Ooh, cool. I think this is such a fun card. 6. Darius Executioner. Okay. Yeah, man. That's kind of fun. All right. And we're going to go Watchful Sentry. What can he have here? Another Darius, I guess. We're ahead on points, which is good, but yellow has a bunch of removal shit. Probably should have played the student rather than Watcher. Darius and Viktor's an interesting one. I guess it works. Like, why not? He's a little bit on the expensive side. 5, 6. Okay, cool. First time a friendly unit dies each turn, draw a card. Hold points. We're going to... Does clear it all. Maybe I should have hit Darius with one so I could draw. And we will throw a Raven in the back. Pass back, and we should be good here, I would imagine. You need, like, Singularity. Just Singularity works. Alright. Well, that is a run-through of every updated deck from the for the Spiritforged set with all the old cards. Let me know which of these you want to be trying in the future, or how you're going to be changing your old decks to make them playable as we go into Spiritforged. Like I said, the Viktor deck that I made about Karthus is probably my favorite thing to be playing. It's not very good, but it's very fun. If you haven't seen the video on that, go check that out now. If you enjoyed this 6 hours of suffering, remember to leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any other ideas for things you want me to discuss, let me know in the comments down below. That being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.